Leo, hello, and welcome to my channel as I see you tarot. This is going to be your March 1st to the 15th of 2021. This is a 5-card tarot card overall energy reading. This is a general reading for the larger collective of Leos, and it's intended for informational purposes. The information may not resonate with all Leos, and that's totally understandable. Please take what fits and let the rest go. To save time, I already shuffled the cards, and during the shuffle, the 5 cards ejected on their own, and I'm going to take them in the order that they were ejected for each one. If you're not familiar with the 5-card tarot card reading, please look at the description below, and that will give you more information about it. And just real quick, the first card here represents your for the overall collective of Leo, the past influences or past energies. Anywhere between the last 30 days to 6 months, and this is the past influences of energy that during this present time for that time frame. It's a the energies in some cases may have completed the cycle, or they may still be lingering. The second card is going to be your present influences. This is your present energy that's going on in the current time frame right now for the overall collective of Leo. The third card is the future energies. These are energies that are going to be on the cusp, or they haven't quite occurred yet, but they're around the corner. The fourth card is going to be your challenges. This is your challenging sort of energy. This is things that can present themselves as information, but in most cases they present themselves as choices that you can make using your own free will, of course. And the fifth card is your outcome energies, and this is energy that's for things that have come to a close or will be coming to a close fairly soon for the collective of Leo. So if you haven't already, real quick, I appreciate all those who have liked the videos and subscribe to my channel, so thank you very much. If you haven't done so, please take a moment to do so. It helps the YouTube algorithms, and that's how YouTube pushes channels out to a wider audience, especially for new channels. It takes a while to do that, so they look at the algorithms basically of liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. And of course, if any part of the reading resonates with you, or you have some meaning to you, please leave a comment below. That would be greatly appreciated. So kicking that off, let's go. Okay. In our past influences, the card that came up, we have the 5 of Cups, and however the 5 of Cups is in sorry, there's glare. 5 of Cups is in reverse for you. So angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the 5 of Cups is in reverse for Leos as their past influences during this time frame, please. Okay. Typically a reverse 5 of Cups is an energy that suggests that for the overall collective, or at least the major energy that was in the past influences for many Leos for this particular time frame, that Leos in some ways suffered a personal setback or some sort of disappointment. In some cases, it could have been a feeling that you might have felt like you were a failure and you didn't want others to know it because something went wrong, or it could have been something that you were working on or involved in, but you're not ready to admit to others that what happened, and you're choosing to sort of keep your feelings to yourself. This energy basically is that those around you, co-workers, family, even friends, many may not even know what the setback or this disappointment was, and that how much pain it actually was causing you at the time. And I think for many Leos, you might have been afraid to ask for help, or even to talk about it with somebody, or even to share it with somebody, particularly because it was something that you it was something that had to do with trust. I mean, you needed to trust somebody or someone in order to share this experience, whatever it was. Um, However, if you were lucky enough to find someone to talk about this sort of disappointment or setback, it did alleviate a lot of the emotional pain. Um, and of course, we know that by sometimes sharing it with somebody or just getting it off your chest, you realize that you're able to overcome this sort of temporary setback, and that's really what it was. It was a temporary setback. Um, I think for some Leos, the feeling what behind this setback or disappointment and your past influences, it may have left you feeling guilty or ashamed about what happened, and perhaps you're blaming yourself for your involvement, or if you made a mistake. And I'm not saying that I'm not picking up any sort of deliberateness about it. It could have been unintentional. However, but the Five of Cups in reverse, it was encouraging you to forgive yourself and to move on, and that's really the critical key message here. And to understand for Leo that you did your best that you could, and this was a perfect opportunity for many Leos to practice what this sort of a ritual of self-forgiveness, and just forgive yourself and express your gratitude, and let the emotion move into love, and let it go. Um, when this Five of Cups in a tarot reading is appearing in your past influences, um, there also presents the energy that you're realizing you're realizing the full implications of your past, and there's a feeling of appreciation for lessons learned from any of your past experiences, and you may even recognize the value of this particular, whatever this painful experience was, in the broader scheme of things. Um, Understand that the energy of the Five of Cups in reverse serves as a reminder, Leos, that you cannot undo your past. What has happened has happened. Um, it sends a message that it was time to let go, really, of what no longer serves you emotionally, and to open up in order to open up to new opportunities that come available to you. And it was an opportunity to discover how to be open and to take risks again for many, especially those of the heart. If you have suffered several setbacks in your past, Leos, you may find that you will be more hopeful about your future and engage with the more exciting creative side of life again, by simply letting go of things, these sort of emotions, because again, if they no longer serve you, they no longer serve you. You don't have to forget about them. They're just don't really serve you anymore, so you let them go, release them, and move forward. In your present energy, we have the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is in the upright position. Oh, there you go. And so, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Queen of Wands is in Leo's present energy during this time frame, please. Okay. The Queen of Wands here is an energy that's going to remind many Leos of, well, not remind, it's going to give you a feeling of being upbeat, of a feeling of courageousness, a feeling that you are self-determined. You're going to be experiencing sort of these sort of creative visions, and things that have a purpose, and that you feel have a purpose. You're including even in times that if there's going to be any sort of adversity or any challenge that it presented to you. This is really an energy that is highly self-actualized and is full of self-awareness, and you're going to know how to best channel your strengths and your weaknesses in order to achieve whatever goals that you have. There's a feeling of being optimistic. It's full of ideas that you're wanting and willing to share with others. It's an energy that you know what you want, and you really have the feeling of knowing how you want to go about getting it. It's almost an energy that is masterful at engaging others in order to achieve the goals that you want. So the trick here for you, Leos, is in this present energy for you, is to stay fiercely determined and to focus on goals that at the same time being friendly and optimistic with those around you. So you don't want to step on people's toes. So you don't want to do it in your best, your higher self. The Queen of Wands here is an energy that's going to ask you to be bold in your undertakings and your actions, Leo. It's going to encourage you not to be afraid of what your real power is and to put it out to the world. Understand that many Leos, you have a lot to offer, and so this is an opportunity to shine the light bright, so to speak. Believe in yourself, and Leos, you can like the center of attention sometimes, in a good way. So this is again this opportunity to be able to put that prowess out, and to show others what we stand for, and not to this isn't a time to feel afraid to speak out. You want to be heard, and people will listen. The Queen of Wands also represents an energy sort of what one would call the social butterfly, and it can lead to having sort of a busy time. It's about making connections. It's about or connections with other people and putting yourself out there as you sort of pursue your goals or whatever it is that you are looking towards, any sort of creative vision. At the same time, you're going to be radiating this health and vitality and this inner sort of vibrancy that's going to fill you with full of energy and inspiration. You're going to have all the skills of the natural born intelligent leader who actively inspires others. You're going to be really going to be seeing. I was going to say mover, but yeah, you're going to be in many cases seen as the mover and shaker during this time period, and you're going to be able to influence others through your vision and your courage and determination. And in many ways too, because Leo, you have this tendency to do anyway. You're going to instill confidence because typically you are a very confident sign, and you're going to instill confidence into others, and you're going to give them a sense of power and self-assurance that they can achieve anything that they set their mind to. So people are going to feel that energy from you. It's going to be a give and take sort of energy. The Queen of Wands here, understand too, also shows that you're going to be able to express yourself fully to those around you, and in some cases you might even be the center of attention. Imagine that. You're going to if you're going to meet new people, you're going to create this wonderful first impression and can quickly win others to your side, and they're going to see the sweet and charming and warm nature that you have. It's going to be a perfect time to put yourself out there and meet new people and create this sort of community of like-minded people that you are. In some cases, they're going to be drawn to you. They're going to be drawn to you by your energy and your passion and your enthusiasm, and that's going to be very positive for you. Also understand that the Queen of Wands here in your present energy is going to be encouraging you to get to know your shadow self, Leos. This is the lesser known, sometimes the darker side of who we really are. This doesn't necessarily need to be a negative aspect of yourself. It could be something that most people don't know about you. In other words, it could be that perhaps you have a dark sense of humor or a dry sense of humor and people don't understand that. Or it could be a secret life in your past, or it could be a passion project that you kept hidden away that nobody knows about. While you may want to protect this part of this darker side, with the Queen of Wands energy, it's going to encourage you to express this side more openly with others, and not to be afraid to show your shadow side now and then. And this will enable you to connect with others on a deeper level. So again, these could be people that you trust, that you want to you may not want to share with everybody, but if there's people in your inner circle, so to speak, share those sort of things, because they're going to give people a better picture of you, and perhaps seeing a different side that they didn't know, and it could be a very good thing for you. In our future energies, we have the Four of Pentacles, and the Four of Pentacles is also, oops, I can't grow layer there. The Four of Pentacles is also in the upright position for you, Leo, and so angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Four of Pentacles is in the upright position. for our Leos during this time frame, please. Okay. In its most positive state, understand, Leo, that the Four of Pentacles is going to suggest that you have created a wealth of whatever that is for you, and an abundance, whatever that means to you, and you'll be able to create this sort of safety net, if you will, maintaining a steady focus on your goals and acting in many ways conservatively. You have been many of Leos had been, paying attention to your long-term financial security, and many were saving money and watching, your expenses, so that you can accumulate a savings or a wealth that has some uh, safety net for you, or will allow you to live some sort of comfortable lifestyle, whatever that means to you. Um, but not only now, but in the future. And many of you are going to consider perhaps even looking at better savings plans with more interest, or even looking at revising your budget, even retirement plans, and safer investments. So you can protect yourself, and what you've accumulated over time, and slowly and steadily increase your net worth, particularly for those that are wanting to retire. Um, However, understand that, um, well, before I go there, there's on the positive side of this Four of Pentacles, it also is an energy that's going to ask you, Leos, to examine your relationship with money. That's what it was. It's examining your relationship with money, and as you're creating this steady wealth, and making sure that you're going to be protected as best as you can, and investing your money wisely, and still with balancing that day-to-day life. You're you want to be careful not to hang on to every coin, and you want to be careful not to be afraid to spend money for fear that you may not have enough, or you could lose it forever. In other words, you don't want to go to the extreme, because that's really not what you want to do. It be so stingy that you're suffering right now. You want to be able to spend some things, so budget. That's really what this message is about in your future strategies. Is don't go to extreme of being too loose with your money. Don't be extreme of being too stingy. Give yourself a little budget to have some fun. Go to the movies every once in a while, buy dinner once a week or something like that, and then save the rest, because you want to be able to enjoy it now as well. And that's really what this energy is with the upright Four of Pentacles for you. The energy also for many Leos, with the Four of Pentacles, um, is really as it brings about a scarcity sort of mindset, especially with money and material possessions. And so some Leos, again, I think, as I said earlier, if you've been um, feeling that instead of spending your cash and enjoying a comfortable lifestyle right now, if you were choosing to stockpile your finances for fear that you're going to lose it, or someone else might take it away, particularly with COVID-19, perhaps you're afraid you're going to lose your job, or don't know where your next job is going to be. That's understandable to some degree. This is again an energy about extremes, and it's about not uh, common sense, of course. So you want to save, and you want to put some money away, and you want to budget appropriately, but you don't want to go without, so to speak, because you still want to live, or it's not going to be any fun for you. So you have to find that balance of how to spend a little bit of money to keep you motivated and to enjoy life, and yet keep a percentage for that savings, because that's really what your ultimate goal is as well. So understand that money works best when it can flow in exchange, and not when it's being stashed away. So this is for those Leos that were finding themselves in either extreme. This is sort of asking you to loosen up a little bit and find a happy medium. Because if you're doing one or the other, you're going to really forgo your own happiness and fulfillment in your life, particularly if you don't want to spend any money, and that's not any fun. for one. So you want to find that the healthy balance is about spending and saving so that you can enjoy the fruits of your labor right now as you save for your future. The Four of Pentacles also, Leo, suggests that if you're pinching, or placing too much, value on your money and material possessions in many ways. So understand that, you know, yes, we live in a society that sometimes we're judged by what we have, and perhaps what we don't have. But if you assess your self-worth, based on how much you earn, or the car that you drive, or how expensive your home is, or where you take your holidays, you have to understand that it's almost a catch-22 for you, because as your standard of living increases, so too will your need to work harder to generate that income to sustain this sort of lifestyle of what I call living up with the Joneses. And it's going to leave you little time to enjoy your wealth or your family or anyone else. So the broader lesson of the Four of Pentacles is to honor and respect money and wealth, but don't become so attached to it that you lose sight of what's important to you, which is really your friends and your family and your happiness and love. For some Leos, I'm picking up the energy, if you are struggling with your finances, then the Four of Pentacles is the energy that comes as wise advice to manage your money and your resources more carefully so that you do not live beyond your means. And we know that it can be hard to do, but it happens. So this is an energy that's basically, if you are living beyond your means, to take control of that and devise a budget that's going to get you back on track. You want to make sure, Leos, that you do not spend more money than you earn, or that you budget for, and you need to have a budget and saving plans in place so that you can reach your financial goals, to live secure in a stable life. Again, the Four of Pentacles is really about money and wealth. So if Leos, if you're seeking out more control of your life, in some ways, perhaps you're working 80 hours a week, and you're out of control in that sense, or at work, you're micromanaging, or you may be micromanaging if you're a boss, or you're letting other people mess around in your area, or if in a relationship, you may be protective or even more possessive than normal, ensuring that no one else threatens you, with your relationship. But on a personal level, you may have sort of this inflexible attitude to resist change. So even in some cases, some Leos, you may even feel inclined to sort of hoard your possessions. And after all, you've established a sort of way of living, and you want to hang on to it, and it's understandable, and don't beat yourself up about it. Particularly if you feel there's some sort of threat, and that's going to bring about uncertainty, or some sort of your safety and security of your life. So any suggestion of doing something different, it might, be met with resistance from some Leos. So playing it safe may be the way to go, rather than taking risks at this point. So it really depends where you feel you are. And as a future energy, it's sort of just giving you an understanding that you're going to be dealing with these sort of issues, and you have to find that even spot where you are that works for you. And our fourth card, this is our challenges. We have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands, oops, God, I can't get this right. The Six of Wands is in our reverse position for us. So angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Six of Wands is in reverse for our Leos, for their challenges during this time frame, please. Okay, Leos. The Six of Wands, when it's in reverse position, is going to suggest that for many Leos, you've reached a significant personal milestone. Unlike when it was up in the upright position of this card. So this is about reaching a milestone. However, the difference is that you're keeping it to yourself right now. And this could be because you're uncomfortable, perhaps you don't want to receive praise if it's a public issue for work, or like you received an award, or so many years of work, or whatever else, or you might just simply be uncomfortable receiving public praise for it, or it could be a private achievement that you have no reason to share with others. Let's just say it was a personal goal that you wanted to lose 5 pounds or something. It what it is about, it's about checking in with yourself though. And if you want to ask yourself in sort of I guess you want to ask yourself why you might be avoiding sharing it with others. And this could be, is it because you're lacking confidence, or you feel nervous about being too over the top, and people might see you as bragging, something like that. With the reversed Six of Wands, it's an energy that's going to encourage you to create your own sort of definition of what success is. So if you found yourself seeking approval and validation, and comparing yourself to others, perhaps it's easy to do. In many ways, you might have stripped yourself of your own personal power and your own self-belief, rather than sort of relying on someone else's opinions of what's successful and what's not. Um, this is going to be a challenge to sort of bring your energy back to the attention within yourself and ask yourself the following questions. What does success mean to me? Um, you know, your answer is going to look a lot different from other people's interpretations, because your values and priorities are really unique to you. So, Leo, the challenge here is that when you're clear about what success means to you, you will make better decisions that are more in alignment with really who you are. And by doing so, it's going to increase your confidence and your self-independence, and that's a good thing, and that's what you want. Keep in mind that times that the reverse Six of Wands can suggest that you may have, some Leos, you may have fallen from grace for some reason, and you did not receive sort of a public recognition that you were seeking, or you didn't receive any sort of feedback for your efforts for some project that you were on, or something that you put a lot of energy and work into, whether it was formal or informal. Um, um, for your efforts, or perhaps you even received some sort of criticism instead. And you may have expected things to have been just the opposite. But instead, you're being punished, or you feel you're being punished, or even neglected at this time. And this, of course, can, shatter confidence when we take such hits in such cases. And it might, in some cases, it might have affected professional. You might have feel it could have affected your professional reputation in some way, or whatever was you were put all this energy into may not have been as successful as you had hoped. And you may have even been better off moving to a new environment so that you can rebuild your own personal brand, or start something new, and rather than trying to fix something. So again, there's a shadow side of this Six of Wands here when it's in reversed, and this means it can also bring about sort of a false sense of importance, or an arrogance, or even an egotistical sort of behavior at times. And we know, Leos, that sometimes even in your best cases, you could sometimes roar, and it could be perceived wrong by people, even though you may not have intended it to be that way. But it's how you come across in something could have rubbed people the wrong way unintentionally, or whatever else. So, and this is the shadow side of this. So, it's going to encourage you sort of to be armed with a win and a boost to your self-confidence if you sort of did get the accolades that came, and you may come to think that nobody is better than you, perhaps. And in other words, did you get some sort of accolades, and it went to your head, and that's rubbing other people the wrong way. This sometimes could have been either an intentional or non-intentional sort of selfish sort of attitude, and someone is likely around you or near you, or coworkers or family members may want to knock you down a peg, and this sort of is bringing disappointment, and even potential dispute later on. If this is the case, if this is happening for some Leos, the Six of Wands energy then is a challenge for you, and it's going to ask you to rein your ego in, and make your victory a little more sweeter, by not showing so much ego, and sort of be a little more modest. And again, it's situational, and this is your challenge, is something that's coming around here, of some accolades that you had worked on, and that uh, may have been the shadow side, may have been egotistical, or you could have been perceived to be egotistical, even if you didn't think you were. But the negative feedback you're getting is that, and that's what's bothering you. That's that scenario there. That's the shadow side of this. So if that's the case, that this is occurring, then the message here is to rein in your ego, uh, and let it go, and get a softer side, and it'll turn around. It's really going to be short lived. That's it. Um, in our last card, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Seven of Pentacles is also in reversed position here, and we'll find that this is for our outcome energies. So, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Seven of Pentacles is in the reverse position for our Leos during this time frame, please, for outcomes. Okay. This the Seven of Pentacles is an energy that's going to suggest for many Leos that even though you might be investing a lot of energy into some sort of specific situation, you may not reap the rewards that you're looking for. As such, in this outcome things, this energy and this reverse Seven of Pentacle is going to, call on you to prioritize and really prioritize all your activities very carefully, and it's going to challenge you and want you to do sort of a cost benefit analysis of all the major tasks that are involved to bring some sort of project to forward, or whatever goal, whether it's personal or professional, formal or informal, as some of those things may be taking a lot more of your time and energy without bearing the rewards that you're seeking. And this could be, for example, your time and energy. For instance, let's say you're emailing, and you have to email a whole bunch of meetings, and you're finding that it's just a colossal waste of time, and it's taking us too much more time than you have, and you're not even doing it effectively. So it's those things. Find the things that you can cut out that just don't have value right now, or aren't that important for you right now. So this is really about taking stock about what you still need to do to get where you want to be, and apply that as a focus, and that will change and help you with your outcomes. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse is really suggesting that your efforts are maybe scattered right now, at this time, and you might be questioning whether you're investing the energy in the right areas. So you may sort of have some outlay where you might have invested money where you're just not producing anything, and you want to sort of reevaluate that, or you're spending something on some project, or even a hobby that perhaps is just taking more time than you thought, or you joined a club or some sort of committee, and you find out it's taking more energy that is hurting everything else that you're doing. So this is, in order to help your outcome energies right now, this is about examining where you are investing your time and energy, and your resources, and make sure that you're satisfied with your current progress, and that you're receiving the return that you're satisfied with, because that's the key here. Are you satisfied with your current progress of where you think you should be and where you want to be, and are you getting a return on that investment of time and energy and even money? So it's about prioritizing your system to ensure that you're not wasting precious resources on areas that aren't delivering results for you, and perhaps they're not as important as you once thought they were, and let them go, or put them on the back burner right now. So this is sort of as a critical strength. The reverse Seven of Pentacles can show you that when to stop investing in something when you see there's little return. So again, you know you need to stop doing it, but for some Leos, you keep doing it. So this is an energy to bring that to your attention, and to be mindful of that. So if you're one that's sort of toughing it out just because you already spent so much time and energy and money on it, and you just don't want to admit defeat. However, if you're adept at identifying when a situation is no longer delivering any value, or when to know to pack it up and try something else, and that's what's going to help you identify. Again, the key word here is identify the priorities that you're wanting to have better outcomes for right now. That's it. So there's also an energy for some Leos in regards to relationships. So if you're involved in a relationship, the reverse Seven of Pentacles is going to indicate that you've been working very hard and sort of laying the foundations for a relationship. And however, again, you might be worrying that you're going to lose all of it. So there's a feeling of frustration and nervousness about this relationship, and that perhaps you're feeling that it's not progressing or growing as quickly as you had hoped, particularly because you put so much time and energy into it. And this could be a romantic relationship or a friendship or anything, a work relationship. Sometimes you can pour your heart and soul into something that comes with no guarantees, and we know that's in all things in life. And so this energy here with the reverse Seven of Pentacles, Leo, is going to help you sort of identify what that is, and to come to a realization that this relationship perhaps just is not worth your time, no matter how much you try. And that's, again, is prioritizing whether it's relationships or tasks or goals or whatever that prioritize right now, and by doing so, you will get the outcomes that you need right now during this time frame once you prioritize them and sort of do a self-evaluation. So yeah, with that, Leos, thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this. Please click the like the video and subscribe to my channel if you already have. Thank you so very much, and share it. Feel free to leave a comment if any part of this resonated with you. I would love to hear it. And if parts of it didn't, or none of it did, it's totally okay, because it is a general reading for this time frame. So again, thank you, Leos, and I appreciate it. And we will see you at the last 2 weeks of March. And enjoy. Have a great time. Enjoy. Stay healthy. Oh no.